everybody, and welcome to today's debut stream of the Open Minds channel or sequence or series, let's call it, of helpful and constructive dialogue between different mindsets, different minds that are willing to be open. And this Open Minds is all about opening other minds. So let's see if we can open your minds while we open our minds. And let me introduce myself first and foremost. I'm the host, Karim del
Oh, hang on.
Barrio. What's up?
Oh no, people are saying YouTube's working. All good. Keep going. Go ahead.
YouTube is working. Okay, fantastic. So YouTube is working live and direct from YouTube. If you can hear us on YouTube, I think the comment section is active on YouTube. We're gonna be responding to as much comments as possible. YouTube is working fantastic. Okay. So if anything, if I put it myself, okay, Maxim, can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly well. Yeah, welcome.
I just seemed like it jumped off. So YouTube, what it is that I just muted my audio from YouTube, but it's going live on YouTube, and I'm seeing the chats. So if anybody hears us or is already on YouTube, let's give us a sign that you're live. We're supposed to be seeing it here on the chat section, I think.
I think
So,
people are getting
sorry,
confused about the
Maxim,
Discord because what you should do, I think, is just share your screen on Discord with your audio, and then people can watch on the Discord or the YouTube. Because I've come off the Discord, so now there won't be any echo or anything.
okay. So if
Yeah,
I share
yeah.
my new audio,
Yeah,
let
yeah,
me see
and share
if
your
that
screen
works.
on Discord,
Okay.
and so you can just
Okay.
stream to
So
the
guys,
Discord.
can you hear me on Discord, YouTube? Like, give me a thumbs up for YouTube. Give me a thumbs up if you're up for Discord, and give me 2 thumbs up or a middle finger if you're listening to both. Looking forward to this. My Wi-Fi currently unannounced. Okay, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. House of Atreus. Give me those middle fingers up. I can hear in discount. Much love, House of Atreus. I want to have you as a guest later on. Okay, I think your contributions are going to be quite meaningful, but not as meaningful as my main man Maxim. Is it Maxim or Maxime, or how do I pronounce your name, man? I keep
Maxim,
on getting.
it's okay either.
So now that we've done the testing stuff and everything is good, everybody's listening to us, hearing us, participating in the chats. I've got all the chats open, the public chat as well. I'm just gonna make sure I open that as well in case anyone outside our YouTube is fine. Thank you. The free marketeers can hear on YouTube. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm your host, Karim del Barrio, aka Karim enough for you guys. I'm half Egyptian, half Spanish, born in the UK. But as you can see, thank God I don't have that British accent. No offense to Maxim. Speaking of which, let me introduce you to Maxim, our colleague today, who's going to be speaking about. You're going to find out what we're going to speak about. So, Maxim, introduce yourself.
Hi, yeah, I'm Maxim, half Israeli, half English. Lived in England my whole life. Planning to make Aliyah this year to Israel to go back to my homeland. Very looking forward to that. And yeah, in general, I studied politics, Rots economics. Although I left that after 2 years to pursue a spiritual life as a Hare Krishna monk because I became totally disillusioned with politics. I saw it from the inside with the Labour Party at the time, with Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party, and I saw how incompetent and how generally they just didn't really know what was going on. I didn't really want them to have power, and or anyone, and didn't want anyone else to have power anyway. So I just became totally disillusioned with the whole thing. Became spiritual at the same time. Became a monk for a couple of years eventually. Then realized I actually don't want to be a monk for my entire life. I like the hedonistic things in life. And so engaged with my Judaism, despite the fact that I'd been raised totally secular. I found that being Jewish was a good way to integrate my devotion to God into my life without being a monk, because it's, to me, it's all the same. Whether you're, however you're worshiping God, whatever, spiritual religious system you're doing it through, as long as you are worshiping God, that's what matters. And so it's kind of all the same to me. And so now I'm here doing things with Head On.
And tell us a bit about Head On. Let's make some publicity about Head On for
Mm,
those
mm.
who are listening on YouTube and don't know what Head On is.
So Head On is the future of conversation. Head On is the platform that myself and a few others are working on, led by the amazing Adam Boaz-Becker. Uh, and we are designing a community and a platform. The community currently lives on Discord, and eventually it will shift to the platform that we're producing, where we all use some very intelligent systems, as well as some really cool AI tools to help cultivate and maintain an environment of very civil, high quality conversation, and to help people improve clarity and understanding. And it's a really exciting thing to be part of, and it's going to be really powerful when it launches, in offering a new platform and way for people to have dialogue, discourse, and learn about themselves and other people.
Yes, and I just want to set the record straight so everybody knows the orientations when we don't have to hint at it or ask it for it. I'm a practicing Muslim, although my mother is a devout Catholic. My mother is Spanish and my father is Egyptian. I am a proud Arab, of course. I'm a European as well. And I think, Maxim, you are a very proud Jew, proud Zionist. It's safe to say. And you see, Maxim and I, we get along very well. I respect him. I think he respects me, or I hope he does. And basically, what it is we had a trial, a conversation with a three-party conversation with a friend of mine, also a Spanish guy called Alberto. Shout out to Alberto if he's listening. Who's a Spanish Muslim convert, and we had a very nice dialogue. We had different views, but we went in it. We approached the conversation in a very civilized, educated manner, and we, Maxim and I, felt the need or the obligation to share that to the world, share that to the Head On community specifically and privately, but obviously also through the YouTube channel, which you can feel free to live or to 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 hear it when after it's recorded. And the whole purpose, and that's why we decided on the name Open Minds for this series. And it's an open series. It's not a me show or it's not a Maxim show. It's a whoever show. It's in parallel to the Head On initiative, and it's led by the Head On initiative because they initially did the whole platform for me to get to know people like Maxim and people like, obviously on the chat I see House of Atreus, Noam, Adam. Big shout out to you guys, obviously, for being live with us. And ultimately, what we are doing here is we are having a decent conversation from people from different views, and exporting that to the world with the hope that people can learn to have dialogue, can have a debate, and share ideas and learn about each other, because that's what it's all about. It's about learning. Yeah, I don't know what you think about this, Maxim. What I'm mentioning.
Yeah, I mean, that's it sounds like a good explanation of what's going on.
Fantastic. So let me start it off straight up, rapid fire. I want to talk to you about our perspective as Muslims, or certain Muslims and certain Arabs, about the end game, right? About what we believe is the reason why I believe there will never be peace in the Middle East. Okay. And I know that it's a hot topic, and we're gonna go straight to the rapid fire. Why not? Because that's what it's all about. We don't want to get with the diplomatic introductions and such. And yes, we do believe that there will be the arrival of the Messiah, just like the Jews believe in the arrival, the coming, the second coming of, well, the second coming for this, the first coming actually of the right, Maxim? Maybe you can elaborate on what I'm saying. What is
Yeah,
the
I mean, it's
perspective on the concept of the Messiah?
definitely for all Orthodox and ultra-Orthodox Jews. There's the belief that the Messiah will come. There will be a great figure, a holy figure, who comes to earth and ushers in the messianic age. Although that's actually for a lot of the Reform Jews, I believe, it's shifted from being a figure to just the era. So they actually don't believe there's going to be a messianic person. It'll just be a messianic era that is ushered in without there being a specific person who is associated with that. But the
Because
traditional
you
view is
don't believe.
absolutely a Messiah figure.
So you don't. So I was under the misconception that okay, House of Atreus is mentioning Shiloh, and maybe we can invite you later, House of Atreus, to elaborate that after we had this conversation. But does resonate with Shiloh, or am I pronouncing it wrong, Maxim?
I don't know what that is exactly.
Maybe we can have later on House of Atreus join us if he wants. But let's finish the intended debate first and get the topics out, and we'll put a pin on that Shiloh point. Thank you, Shiloh. I'm gonna give House of Atreus. I'm gonna give you a like because I want to elaborate on that. So when you say the Messiah, I want you to expand a bit on, because I want to learn. Obviously, I know I have some education about it, some knowledge. But if you have some knowledge on that, I'd like to know, because what I see is that the construction of the Temple Mount is one of the signs or the reasons that will contribute into the Messiah arriving, right? That's what I misconceive, or
Yeah,
I
it's
do.
not the only reason that the Temple Mount, like people want to build it, but it's definitely one of the big reasons. But also, there's a lot of Jews who believe that the temple, the third temple, should only be built after the Messiah arrives. So it's not such a simple thing. There's lots of different reasons people want to build it, and lots of argument over when it should be built. That's all.
Okay, I'll give you my perspective or my 2 cents on it. Okay, thank you, Sheila. I want to quote before we jump into my perspective, because since we're talking about Jewish and Zionist perspectives of it, or Jewish slash Zionist, okay? House of Atreus is saying on the chat, the prophecy states, the scepter shall not depart from Judah until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the peoples. Genesis 49:10. Does that resonate for you in something or not, Maxim?
I mean, there's a lot of interpretations, but yeah, if that's the prophecy, then that's the prophecy.
Okay, so let me not touch subjects where you're not where
Yeah,
they're
I
not
mean,
your comfort
I'm not
zone.
any kind of religious scholar or anything like that. I've never been
No,
to.
no, no, which is fair. I'm trying to start from the
Yeah,
end and build current affair narrative based on perspectives of what the end is, you know. And maybe we can have House of Atreus. Shout out to House of Atreus, obviously, for your contribution. We're gonna pin in that, and we'll have you on the show later on. But let me just redirect the conversation into the way I planned it initially, and we'll circle back to House of Atreus, and we'll have him on the show
for
if he's
sure.
willing to
I know
join.
he's actually studied at yeshiva for a couple of years, so for anything relating directly to kind of biblical um, interpretations, he would definitely be a good person to ask.
I like, because he mentioned the Jewish and the Christian interpretation of it, and I know some apocalypse perspectives, because my mother is a practicing Christian, Catholic, devout actually, and and her uncle was a priest, so I had decent enough conversations to understand the Christian perspective of it. Both of my sisters used to be Muslim, and they're Christian now, for the record. Those who don't know, and I can't say I'm entirely proud of it, but I respect them and I love them very much. You know what I mean? I love them as I more than I would love myself, because at the end they're my sisters, they're my blood, and I wish them all the best and they're happy. Shout out to my sisters if they're listening. I don't think they are, but whatever. I want to elaborate on the Muslim perspective of the end of times battle and the concept of the arrival of the Messiah, and all around it, if I may, Maxim, and maybe we can, based on that, direct the conversation in the direction of how it flows, right? So, in summary, we believe that there will be an end of times battle or war, and this will be a sequence of events, and they're not specifically mentioned in kinds of time frame or circumstances. They're just, we have minor signs and major signs, right? So the minor signs have all been seen, okay? And then obviously there are major signs which, when one happens, they all happen, right? And in between those signs is the arrival of what we call the guided, well, the guided caliph, or not the caliph, let's call it the Mahdi Muntadhar, the awaited guided one, okay? And the Mahdi Muntadhar will basically lead the Muslim armies into victory, not only armies by force, but by faith. And he will unite the Muslims, and there will be a sequence of events that include the coming of the Antichrist, okay? And I want to cut a long story short, but I want to do a spoiler and tell you that the Muslims' vision of the Antichrist is what we believe is the Jewish perspective of the Messiah. And for those who are interested in that discourse, I can elaborate later, but I would rather have House of Atreus because I feel this is a more comfortable topic for him versus Maxim. I think Maxim, you're more into current affairs, more into certain Zionism perspectives, and we're gonna lead the conversation in a terrain we're both comfortable. But I wanted to throw that in as the end game. So yeah, I think Suhail is also mentioning in the comments, do not conflate Judaism with Zionism. What do you think about that, Maxim? Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to elaborate on that or not?
Yeah, of course, Judaism and Zionism aren't the same thing, but there is this attempt to deny that Zionism is fundamentally satisfying an aspect of Judaism. Like you can't separate Zionism from Judaism. I think it's very silly and quite ignorant to try to do that, because the whole idea that Jews will return to the land of Israel and will rebuild their sovereignty in Jerusalem is something that Jews have been praying for every day for 2,000 years. And so to separate Zionism, which is the movement which has achieved that, from Judaism, the religion which has been praying for that thing for 2,000 years, it's very silly, and I think it's kind of it's not realistic, you know.
Okay, we'll give a chance to Suhail, who is the one who made that comment, to rebuttal that. Suhail, if you're hearing us, I recommend that you take some notes. And if you want to challenge us, Maxim especially, obviously, because I'm not a Jew, and I don't wish to be a Jew, no offense, Maxim. I don't think I even have the criteria to be a Jew, right?
You've got to want it a lot, and the rabbis have to decide that it's worth your time and effort, because it is a lot of time and effort to become it. I'm very fortunate to be born as one, so I don't have to go through that effort.
Honored, and thank you,
not
but
an easy
I'm
thing.
quite convinced with my current faith, so I'm gonna keep.
That's fine. That's what Jews want. We don't want people to convert. We want people to just live a good life.
Okay, we'll have that discourse later, because I know there are some people who spoke about that yesterday and about the conversionists' approach and stuff. But I just want to make sure we're respecting the comments. So Sohail, about what you're saying, that Zionism is modern political movement. Do not call it. Okay, we'll put a pin on that if you want to elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, for the exact reason that I just said, that it's a movement which satisfies one of the fundamental things that Jews have been praying for 2,000 years. To separate it from Judaism is really backwards, I think. And of course, a lot of Jews do it too, but they, often they have religious reasons for it, like the certain Hasidic sects. But yeah, like I said, to separate the political movement which achieved something, which is a fundamental religious prayer and prophecy. Come on, what are we doing, guys?
So let's.
Oh. I lost. We'll be back very shortly. We'll see what's happened to Karim. Well, it looks like Karim has lost connection. Hopefully, we'll have him back very soon. Ah, hello. Ah, you're back. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Can you hear me? I mean, can you hear me and see me? That's the thing.
I can hear you. I saw you for a moment, and now your video's gone.
Okay, let's see if
And now
that
your
works
video's back.
now.
Now your video, yeah.
My video's back. Okay.
Excellent.
So while the chat goes on in discourse, let's organize our thoughts and keep a
Yeah.
flow. So the flow is we are going to circle back around the discourse about Zionism, Judaism, and all that conversation. And we're going to circle back into the Jewish perspectives of the prophecies of the end of times. Okay. And I just want to continue with the discourse and the strategy that I have in mind. Okay. Which is compare the end game into the current sequence of world events. What is happening in the world and how these end of time apocalyptic prophecies have a credibility factor to them. Reading the current map, the geopolitical map of the world, and basically understanding what we view is going to be the end of times, or the end of the war, or the beginning of a bigger war, right? My argument is that one of the prophecies that Islam or the Muslim perspective mentions is that there will be, amongst the battles that would be fought, a very big alliance between the Muslims and the Christian Europeans, okay? Because they don't mention Christian Europeans. They say we will have an alliance with the Romans. So the Romans at the time could include the United States, could not include it, but essentially the Romans were historically the Europeans. Okay?
Yeah, in Jewish thought, the Esav and Edom are associated spiritually with the modern kind of Christian civilization, especially Europe and America. So that correlates.
You're talking about the descendants of Adam, right? Or what are you talking
No,
about?
Esav. So the brother of Jacob.
Yaqub. Okay, Israel.
Yeah.
No, Isaac is Israel. Yes.
Well, sure, but yeah. So when we discuss, there's a particular prophecy that basically the descendants of Esav and the descendants of Israel will always be in conflict, not necessarily in a direct conflict, but that their interests will always be opposed in such a way that only one can be strong at the same time. And so we're seeing this period where Israel is becoming strong and Europe is very obviously becoming weaker. Not by any action that Israel is doing, just by some kind of cosmic balance. And it is actually prophesied that eventually the West, Esav, Edom, Christian civilization, Rome, the continuation of Rome, will be kind of laid to waste by some foe. The Babylon will come along, and do something. But we don't know who Babylon is, and but what we do know is that generally it is Western civilization that is associated with Asav.
So you're trying to tell me that the Jewish perspective is that the people of Israel will be at some point fighting against that Babylon figure?
No, not necessarily that we'll even do anything. It could be that we're total spectators to all of it, but we benefit. It's that there will be a Babylon that comes along and destroys Western civilization, or Asav, which is analogous to Western civilization.
Okay, because I see a lot of synergies and a lot of, let's say, consequence um, uh, uh, of events when we say that the end game, the end times perspective is that Israel will have, because I'm trying to understand the other side, right? As much as I want to talk about my side, I also want to learn and educate myself about the other. And that's why we're having this dialogue and about this conversation, right? So are you comfortable about this topic, or this is not relative to your strong point?
I mean, I'm anything which is religious and scriptural isn't my strong point, but I know bits here and there. You know, I've spoken to a lot of rabbis. I'm familiar with these, but I've never
No
like
worries. We can have
studied
House
it.
of Atreus later on give his 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I'm sure he would
And
have a lot
we're
more to say on it.
yes, and that's what I meant to say, that we're gonna have this conversation and have, you're gonna see what I'm getting at to it. I'm not randomly spitting topics. I really have a strategy and a game plan, and that's why I'm spitting these
Great, then yeah, you pull
apocalyptic
everything in,
narratives.
you get your picture out, and then we can see what we can do with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And by the way, the third guest will be Noam. We agreed on the chat that he wants to join as well. So I feel like we could give a different angle from that. A chance to, let's say, I think that because one of the other guests that is willing to join is Suhail. I think Suhail is more likely going to be a more inclined Arab Muslim perspective. Suhail, if you hear me, please confirm that, or not if you don't feel comfortable sharing your background. It's cool. But what I was trying to say is that the Muslims believe that the Romans and the Muslims will fight a big enemy, and then there in parallel there is the big war that's going to happen with with the. By the way, Alberto joined, but I'm going to tell him to wait because we're in the middle of a conversation. He probably won't say anything. uh, so. What I was just, let me just say something to Alberto. Wait a second.
Alberto,
Wait,
just got a bit
anyway,
of
let's
background
continue the
noise,
discourse and
from
you'll
you.
understand
Mute
that.
for a moment.
Sorry, hello.
Just got a
How's
bit
it
of
going?
Can you hear me
welcome,
like this?
welcome, by the way, but just got a bit of background
Thank
noise.
you.
If you just mute for a moment while Krim's doing his thing. Thank you.
I'm gonna
Hey,
mute
Krim,
him. I'm gonna mute him,
let's
so
hear it.
it's
Let's get it
cool.
out. Oh no, he's gone again. Oh, he
Oh.
must be having some technical issues. Oh.
Okay,
Well,
Maxim.
while he's doing that, Alberto, maybe you introduce yourself.
Yes,
Tell us what
well,
you're doing.
I think Karim already talked about me because I was following the discussion. Well, I'm a Spanish, a Muslim here in Madrid, convert, no, and well, I'm a friend of Karim. Recently, he invited me to join the Discord group. I forgot the name about politics and intellectual debate, you know. And here I am. I'm sorry for the delay. I wasn't sure I would be able to come, but here I am. And as I said, I've been following the discussion, and you seem to be focusing this on the end times events.
Yeah,
no?
yeah,
Am I
that
wrong?
seems to be what Karim wants us to go over, which is very cool. Interesting stuff.
Well, that is one topic. Any other topic?
I think he wants to kind of paint a picture of that and then draw other things into it. That seems to be what he's going for.
Okay. And you, what is the topic you are proposing?
Well, I thought it was, which is why I sent you to the videos earlier. I thought it'd be very interesting to discuss the misunderstanding that the Muslim world and others have about what Israel is and why it exists.
Huh.
Yeah. And why it responds to the opposition it gets differently to how you would expect it to respond if the understanding were correct. Specifically, how the Middle East treats Israel as a colonial entity and responds to it with the tactics that work against a colonial entity, like it did against the French in Syria, or like the Jews did against the British in the Palestine Mandate. And those tactics work successfully. Welcome back, Karim. Those tactics work successfully against colonial entity, yet somehow they just seem to keep making Israel stronger. So you'd figure after 100 years that the Muslims would have figured out that something's going wrong with their understanding of Israel if their opposition just makes the country stronger. But for different reasons, that's not happening.
Okay, so since I'm a Muslim, I will give the Islamic perspective on this topic, no?
But
and are you-
Alberto,
Yes?
just so we, Alberto, just because we're trying to keep a flow also because we're in parallel to this Riverside and YouTube stream. We are streaming also on something called, on Discord. On Discord, the Discord head-on channel.
Well, again. Okay, so
He's having not very bad issues today. Okay.
well, I will address this topic now about the emergence of Israel, no, and our view, our Islamic view, no. Because I remember that the last time we were talking, you mentioned that the appearance or the reappearance of Israel was some sort of cosmic event, sort of ordained by God. No, am I wrong? No.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me it's very clear everything that's happened since, especially.
And yes, we actually in our traditions, we have this idea, although it is little known. Let me see if I can share with you. A verse of the Quran. Bear with me, please.
No problem.
I didn't have any quotes prepared because I come from the street right now. Yes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, but let me recheck with the application. Yes, Jerusalem and the Jews, they are mentioned in the Quran. And in particular, more precisely, yes, for example, in the chapter 21, it's called Surah Al-Anbiya, the prophets, the verse
Can you
95.
guys hear what the conversation is going on the other side?
Sorry?
No, sorry, Alberto, because I was just saying on Discord, there are a lot of people on Discord trying to align and hear us. Do you guys mind if we continue the conversation on Discord? On the
No,
Discord voice channel?
Yeah, sure. We
no.
won't be able to stream to YouTube.
Yeah.
though.
So
Don't worry,
what do I-
because it's getting complicated with Riverside. It's not able to hold it. So
Yeah,
it was
no
not
problem.
a good platform for this. So let's continue on Discord. Maxim and Alberto, I'll let you continue your discourse, and then we'll start inviting guests. Okay?
Sure.
Okay, so what do I do? I have
We'll
opened
get on the
Discord.
Discord. So I'll
Join Discord, Alberto. Join the Discord event.
Page.
I'll invite you now, Alberto. Okay?
Okay, no problem. Sure.
Thank you, Alberto. Thank you for your understanding. Lo siento, tío. Es que sí es un follón, tío. Eso es una movida.